Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Belly to Belly. And today we're going to be talking about how to best prepare for SelectUSA coming up in June in Washington, D.C. And we're joined by Alina from JobsOhio. And Alina, it's great to see you. It's been a little while since we've seen each other. Welcome to the Belly to Belly podcast.
Thank you, Bill, for having me aboard your wonderful boat. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Well, it's always good to have additional passengers for sure. So we want to kind of attend to our items today. So JobsOhio, you guys are amazing. And I know our audience, and we're filled, our audience are all companies that are interested in expanding to the US. And can you share what JobsOhio does to help companies get traction and be successful in Ohio?
Sure. So we are a private non-for-profit. We carry basically the same functions as your regular investment promotion organization that you would be familiar with abroad. All our services to companies are absolutely free, and cherry on top of the cake, we also manage the financial incentives of the state for businesses that want to locate or expand in the state. I personally work exclusively with the European companies, and there's a wide range of things that we can do for them. I get in front of them sometimes very early in their decision-making process. Other times they're in a relatively more advanced state. But if it's the first, so a more incipient stage, we help them, with everything that means informing the decision-making process. So research support that would, yield those numbers that would go into an MPV or an IRR or whatever model the company is using to decide on the feasibility of the project. So it would be, cost and availability of labor, cost of real estate, taxation, everything that has, a numeric value that can be plotted and potentially benchmarked against other states if needed. And if there are multiple states into consideration, we would provide benchmark information as well against those states. We assist with permits. We introduce companies to service providers, whether that's lawyers, accountants, taxation people, developers, you name it, we can connect you. We also have a very rich real estate database that can be accessed. It's very not only rich, but very up to date. We have some 4,000, I think, between sites and buildings on it right now. So definitely, there's a benefit of the choice. As far as the financial services are concerned, the financial incentives are concerned, think of them as three buckets. So the tax credits, low interest loans, and grants. And really between the three, and especially the grants, there's a wide range of eligible activities and expenses that the companies can allocate those towards, whether it's the actual fixed asset or it's the softer part, so the workforce development. But I guess the most valued, I feel, in recent times has been a service that we developed towards talent acquisition. Why is this important, and why do international companies value this? We've seen more and more companies being worried about their ability, international companies, about their ability to attract and maintain people. So we are in a 4% unemployment rate. So they rightfully ask, well, why would people come to work for a name that they haven't heard of, as opposed to a company down the street that their cousin, their friend has worked, they know how they treat their people. So we work with the company basically to build that employer branding. But on top of that, the talent attraction part, the talent sourcing, the training, the pre-screening, everything is done by JobsOhio with its regional partners. To the point where we become the company's proxy HR department, and the company is able to focus on, ramping up their operations and less about the HR component. And if you will, this is a short to medium term solution. We would do this for up to 18 months of the project, after which the local communities have programs that can help ensure the long sustainability of this. So this is kind of in a nutshell, I guess, our services and our financial incentives. And obviously companies value them differently based on how large they are, based on how ready they are to pull the trigger on this. But obviously all of this is on the table for international companies.
Wow, it's great to hear about the support you're now giving in terms of building the team, because that's obviously a huge and growing concern for companies. So congratulations on that. So let's switch over to SelectUSA and maybe talk for a minute specifically on that. And that's actually an event where you and I originally met several years back. And maybe you could share a little bit about, again, our audience likely hasn't been to SelectUSA yet, so they don't know much about it. But why does JobsOhio participate? What's important to you in terms of participating?
So SelectUSA is, if you will, the Oscars of our industry. So everybody converges to Washington, D.C. And by everyone, I mean not only the state level economic development organizations such as ourselves, but also regional economic development organizations, sometimes even local economic development organizations, all the service, I guess, providers. So for us, it's incredibly important to meet with these international companies as they are refining their choice. We want to make sure that we are on the consideration pile. And for us, I guess, we struggle with the fact that international companies know very little about the Midwest or about Ohio. There's a greater knowledge of the East Coast, obviously New York, Boston, of the West Coast, and maybe the city of Chicago, but everything in between is a little bit of a blur. And we want to rectify that and just present the value proposition of the state in all the 9+1 sectors that we promote and that are very present in the state. I mean, this is not our first point of contact. I make it my point to meet with these companies in occasion of the micro SelectUSAs, I guess, that happen ahead, I guess, the recruiting session of this event, so that by the time these companies come, we don't waste anybody's time. And if there's a match and a good fit, we can continue the conversation. If not, they can shop around and learn more about the other organizations and other states.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you call it the Oscars of U.S. market entry. That's interesting. Somebody a week ago or so called it the Super Bowl. So I think there are all sorts of good metaphors.
I'm
maybe
European. The American football goes over my head.
Yeah, the World Cup then.
The World Cup.
Yeah. So yeah, the last question I have is, these companies may not have been to the U.S. yet, not only not to SelectUSA, but how would you suggest, you've been to the event obviously several times, how would you suggest companies get the most out of the experience? And I think both of coming to SelectUSA, obviously there are lots of components of it. How do they get prepared and take advantage of it? But then maybe even pre and post event while they're in the US, are there some suggestions you'd have for them?
Yes, so don't get me wrong, this is going to seem incredibly overwhelming event for these companies. One, because of the sheer number of people that are going to be there from the receiving end, I guess, that are going to propose themselves to them. It's very hard in this phase, I guess, to assess, the true fit of one state or another. I would say come with an open mind. Do some research beforehand, get your options 1 through 5, but come with an open mind, because chances are there's more there than you initially thought about. But this is just, dipping your feet into the water. You need to establish a relationship with the states and the communities, and you'll be surprised how much there is to learn about, what's behind, I guess, a logo, or behind, some original conceptions that you had about a place. There are spin-off events. So to the extent that you're interested in a particular, you already know you're interested in a particular place, and they might organize spin-off events the week after the SelectUSA. So definitely worth planning a little bit more time to spend in the US. Get as many cards as you can, and then plan to do a lot of follow-up after that.
I love it. That's really good advice. So yeah, be open-minded. Yeah, because I think your point about there's a lot of education in terms of the regional strengths of different parts of the country and what different states have to offer and all that. So no, I think really wise advice, and probably comfortable shoes as well is a good.
Absolutely. Moreover, not only for walking the floor of the actual event, but most of the state organize, a night or a happy hour or something where you can connect further, and they tend to be pretty fun. Ohio will be hosting one, so Bill, I hope that we're on your dance card. So looking forward to seeing everyone with their comfortable shoes at the Ohio night.
Yes, get some rest before, but yeah, count me in, Alina, for sure. But this has been great. I'm sensitive to our audience's time, but this has been great to chat with you, Alina, and I want to encourage our audience to both like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for additional information and preparing for SelectUSA and other great topics about being successful in the US. So thank you so much, Alina, for taking the time with us today.
Thank you, Bill. Looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Excellent. Thank you.